Hello, it's Molly from County Battery, and this is my review of the book, The Quick and Easy Way to Effective Speaking. So, to be honest, I wasn't a big fan of this book. I thought the author rambled on quite a bit and gave too many examples of the things he mentions in the book, but I did get a few good things from it, so I'll talk about that. So, the book is about a man who starts teaching a course on effective speaking in 1912 called the Dale to Carnegie course. When people join the course, he first asks them why they want to join the course, and it's usually down to people being self-conscious and frightened when called upon to stand up and speak, and they want to gain confidence to talk clearly and convincingly before a business or social group. There's one man who decided to take the course because of his accountant, who was very shy and closed off, but suddenly gained confidence in his effective speaking when he took the course. He talks about the fear that people have which prevent them from doing things. One thing he says is to picture yourself successfully doing what you now fear to do, concentrate on the benefits, and William James said, if you care enough for a result, you will most certainly attain it. Another thing he says is fear defeats more people than any other one thing in the world, because fear stops people from doing what they want to do. He gives some facts about the fear of speaking in public, one of which is you are not unique in your fear of speaking in public. There are lots of people who are scared of speaking in public, and you are not the only one. Number two, a certain amount of stage fright is useful. You can use stage fright to your advantage. Another thing is many professional speakers say that they never completely lose all their stage fright. And the last one is the chief cause of your fear of public speaking is simply that you are unaccustomed to speak in public. If you are not experienced in something, then you're going to be scared to do it because you're going to think you're going to do it wrong. And a quote from this is, fear is misbegotten of ignorance and uncertainty. In the book, he tells you to prepare for public speaking in the proper way. He says only the prepared speaker deserves to be confident, so if you don't bother preparing for your speech, then you shouldn't really be confident about doing so. However, he says prepare, but he says never to memorise a talk word for word. This is because speakers memorise a talk word for word and then they get up there and forget it all, or when they do remember it, it sounds robotic and not natural. He also says to assemble and arrange your ideas beforehand to get a basic plan in your head of what you're going to talk about and how you're going to talk about it. He tells you to rehearse your talk with your friends, to drop the subject into conversation, and this will help you see if they're interested in it or not, and it will help you talk about your subject naturally to people you know and you're fond of. He also says to predetermine your mind to success. If you think you're going to fail, then you will fail. If you think you're going to succeed, then most likely you will. He tells you to lose yourself in your subject. You need to know and be interested in your subject. You can't talk about something that you're not interested in or you don't know much about, as it won't matter to you and it won't interest you. So how will it interest someone else? He tells you to keep your attention off negative stuff that might affect your speech, and he gives advice to give yourself a pep talk beforehand, and he also says that you should act confident. If you act confident, then you're more likely to be confident. He gives a quote: to feel brave, act as if you are brave, use all of our will to that end, and a courage fit will most likely replace the fit of fear. So you can become fearless by practicing fearlessness. Act as if you were not afraid and you'll gradually cease to be afraid. He also says to speak about something you have earned the right to talk about through experience or study, so something you've got a lot of knowledge on. He also says to tell us what life has taught you, to give your life lessons, any experiences. That's most likely to interest people as you talk about it more naturally and you've got a better memory of it. He also says to look for topics in your background, so your hobbies and experiences, like I just said, your memory is fresh in your mind, you always can remember your experiences, your childhood experiences, and you're most likely to talk about them with more interest, and the audience will find it more interesting as well. He also says to be sure that you are excited about your subject. So again, be interested in your subject, otherwise people won't be interested in it if you're not. He says to be eager to share your talk with your listeners. If you don't want to talk about whatever you're talking about to your listeners, then the speech isn't going to come off well. You're going to be enclosed and shut off. One thing I thought was good, an exercise he did was to train people on their feet when speaking, was he puts topics into a hat and then they pull them out and have to speak about them. So if you had a hat and you pulled out orange, then you talk about oranges, any experiences you've had with oranges. Another thing he does is he gets one person to start a speech and then the rest of the people carry that speech on, so they all throw sentences in there. This is good because it makes them think on their feet and they have to try and link their sentence with the previous person's, but still it can go from a normal start to a weird ending. He gives a structure to how you should give your speech. Firstly, you should tell them what you're going to tell them, then tell them what you've told them. So tell them what you're going to tell them, introduction, what are you going to speak about, tell them your speech, tell them what you've told them, summarise, go over the key points so they don't forget the speech. So that is my review of the book, The Quick and Easy Way to Effective Speaking. Thank you for watching.